Hi everyone, my name is Shweta. I'm a 30-year-old native English speaker from Australia. I have a TEFL certification that I got in April 2016 from Chiang Mai, Uni TEFL Chiang Mai. And at the moment, I'm based in Thailand and I'm teaching English to Thai students in a secondary school, a secondary Thai school. So the age group of students that I teach are from 13 to 15-year olds. The focus of the English language that I'm teaching them is mainly to improve their conversational English. So basically, you give them different contexts that they apply to everyday life, such as movies, music, hobbies, travel, food. So things that they can relate to, things that they're used to in everyday life. And within those contexts, getting them to improve their conversational skills. So we start off by teaching them the vocabulary, and then we move on to getting them to talk about the key words in that context in a conversational manner. In the process, I also end up correcting their grammar and their phonology and their pronunciation, and also make the learning environment a lot more interactive and personalized so that they get the relevant skills that they need to be able to communicate effectively in English. So I've been doing this since May 2016, so I've got about 3 months of teaching English experience. I would now like to move my teaching services online, which is why I felt that your website and your organization's project is very relevant to what suits very well to what my needs are at the moment, which is to make the transition into online teaching from a conventional classroom setting teaching, I suppose. Apart from teaching English, I'm actually a qualified science teacher. So I got my qualification from Australia in 2012. And since then, I have taught science in Australia as well as London. I have also been a subject tutor for more than 10 years now. I have tutored students in Australia mainly, and I've tutored them in English as a second language, maths, science, and economics based subjects. So again, the age group of students that I worked with were over 12 to 18-year olds, as well as university students. I really enjoy teaching. It's the reason being because I'm able to communicate and transmit the knowledge that I learned at university and school, the knowledge and skills that I developed over the years, and pass it on to students. And just the rewarding feeling of getting them from point A to point B. So basically, when they were at a stage where they were not very confident and they didn't really know much, to getting them to a place where they feel confident, they know what they're doing, and they're achieving the results and making the progress that they had set out to do. So the fact that you're able to contribute into a student's life and make a difference in that way is what really makes teaching a very appealing profession to me. So the way I normally teach a lesson would normally, especially in like a one-on-one or a small group setting, I've typically done this in my one-on-one tutoring or small group tutoring activities and pastorals, where the first couple of lessons I would get to know the student on a more personal level. So really ask them more about what they are as a person, what they like doing outside of school and work, and really where they think their strengths and weaknesses are in the subject that I'm teaching them, and where they think they need to improve upon maximum, and getting a sense that way also as to what sort of learning style suits them the best. So, because at the end of the day, we all have different learning styles. We learn in different ways. Some people learn visually, some people learn auditorily, some people learn kinesthetically. It varies with everybody. I generally use things like pre-tests. So pre-tests are basically ways in which I can get to know where their areas of strengths and weaknesses are. So this could be mind maps, pop quizzes, question and answer, multiple choice activities. So many varieties of activities, and that way I can get a sense of what their learning style is and what their level is and their strengths and weaknesses. I then develop and devise resources myself, and I have done this a lot in the past. I have developed subject booklets, worksheets, homework activities, PowerPoint presentations, as well as general cheat sheets that sort of helps the students break down the complex content in a more simple way, I suppose. So you not only using resources from the internet, but also developing my own resources or modifying resources that I found on the internet to be able to suit the learning needs of my individual students. And then I make sure that I am going through their areas of weakness, and giving them enough practice on that particular area in a variety of ways. So it could be ranging from an animation based activity, watching a YouTube video and telling me about it, watching a movie and telling me about it, past exam questions, worksheets, model building, role plays. It just depends really on what the students' learning styles are. And I do this on a regular and repetitive basis till I feel that a student has achieved a certain level or degree of result and has gone from point A to point B. And I keep on changing my approach, I keep on changing my teaching and try to make it as personalized and meaningful as possible so that the students see the meaning and the relevance in what I'm teaching them as well, and makes the learning much more accessible and individualized based on their learning needs and their learning styles. Feedback is a very, very critical component of my teaching, and I make sure that I'm not only asking for feedback from students and their parents, if applicable, when I'm teaching them, as well as giving a lot of feedback to students during the lesson, as well as if they submit a piece of work, I give them feedback on that as well. And that's not just tick and flick. It's always something I always write. Good, you did this well, but this is where that you can improve on. And I make sure that I'm giving them the guidance on how they can improve from that point to that point. So I'm hoping that I can use the same skills and sort of make my presence in the world of online teaching through the work of your organization. And one of the other reasons why I found your organization very appealing was the fact that you work with Vietnamese students. And Vietnam is actually not only one of the countries that I'm traveling to in the near future, but also I am looking to move there at some stage and also teach there. So that's what I have in mind. So a good foot in the door and a good start on getting used to how Vietnamese students learn, which I'm assuming would be quite different from how Thai students learn, as well as getting a head start on how the Vietnamese culture is as well. So this is a very good avenue in which I can start off with, I suppose. I'm very flexible with my work times at this point in time, even though I'm working full time. I believe Vietnam and Bangkok, where I am at the moment, have the same time zone, so you're not going to have a time difference. So after 5 o'clock, Monday to Friday, and obviously very flexible on the weekends, just depends on whenever the student needs me, really. This is the place where I'll be teaching. It's a very quiet, no noise at all kind of area, and I have a very fast, speedy internet connection. I have a headset, I have a mic, and I have a webcam as well. So, and I've got Skype, Zoom, Google Hangouts, and I can download any other software that's required for me to teach the role. So yeah, you can find the rest of my details on my proposal that I posted to your website, as well as my resume. So yes, I'm looking forward to working with your students and help them achieve their targets in their English learning, and looking forward to hearing from you guys very soon. Thank you very much.